A quick preview here of what whistleblowers from a secret operation called Immaculate Constellation have revealed that they want humanity to know. Watch. We will analyze shortly.
You are not free. And this reality has far more to it than you have been allowed to believe. And God is real.
But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared, and if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
This video follows part 1, so you only have literally half the story. But my whole story, to understand everything, both these videos are the tip of the iceberg, so you need to see the other videos for more backup. But Immaculate Conception, look where it begins. The dogmas of the Catholic Church. There is the origin of the name Immaculate Conception. There's even a feast day on the 8th of December, Immaculate Conception Day. So that term was a Catholic origin. Right, we look at ancient murals by esoteric artists rumored to be part of secret society. This particular one, you'll see that in the sky. I think it's a UFO and a beam of light. That's Mary, the Christ Mother, and here we have the angel, the angel Gabriel, and he is going to visit Mary in a private place, her home, behind closed doors, and instruct Mary that she's going to be giving birth to a very important child that will save the people. Right, let's look at another one here. This is Leonardo da Vinci's The Annunciation. Here's Angel Gabriel coming to visit Mary, same sort of thing. She's also wearing red and blue, by the way, which is the messianic sort of colors. Now, in this particular picture, the lighting has a bit of a shadow on the top of the frame in the museum. But if you take your own photograph with a flash, you'll see that right there. Now, I'm sure I'm not the first in saying, oh gosh, there's a UFO, but let's just look at it closely. It has lightning bolts coming out of it, this plasma sort of cold wisps coming down from it. Surely this is exactly what ufology would call that which produces a cloud, creates a cold plasma outer surface for its high-speed travel so it doesn't heat up. Look closely at that flying hat right now. Coincidentally, the coat of arms for the old Pope Francis used this particular one, the bishop's hat, cosmic robes, which I believe are serpent cosmic robes from the flying hat, UFO, the Orion Constellation, the old Cross of Lorraine style of showing it. I've shown how it works with this one as well. But of course, I think Pope Francis was about to explain his star map with a lot more. And I've shown it here, the reference to the grapes in symbolism is for the Pleiades. That's a star, very straightforward. And of course, a blazing sun. And then IHS in the sign. Actually, this is like from Constantine's teaching in the sign, Teach the World. And he shows it as his coat of arms. And of course, choosing with compassion. Very interesting. Now, Pope Leo has the same potential coat of arms. This was just before he chose his coat of arms final. You'll see it's slightly different now. This is what was shown on the internet as this is what he's going to choose. But there are two versions, one with the flying hat and one with the keys of the Immaculate Constellation. Tree of Life, that's where I had my near-death experience. That is a symbol for the Tree of Life, no contest there. The Heart of Christ, compassion, Christian flaming heart for love. But the book without a title. This is probably not a Bible, but it's probably knowledge, i.e. representative of the Vatican Library. And then of course his in Ulo uno unum. With God creation, we are one. He's talking about oneness, and that's exactly my mission. And I think he has the potential of taking this a lot further with humanity. Looking at another ancient fresco, this is Pietro Perugino, showing Christ handing over the keys to St. Peter. Let's have a closer look here, but have a look at the sky here. Coincidence they show the clouds like that again. And of course the triptych, 3 portals to the 3 stars, you'll see it there. There it's shown 3 times. Trying to make a story how the artist is part of a secret society. But looking at the close version of the gold key and the silver key, this is very, very important, because I'm going to take the key teaching further. It's my responsibility. And of course he's wearing red and blue, which is symbolic of a Messiah. Right, the 2 keys, gold and silver key. What, in my opinion, these are what I believe the Christ was teaching about, is our spiritual origins. Where do our souls come from? What is God creation? What is the tree of life? And the symbol that he would have used is probably similar to this, and I'm showing it like this now to update it. It looks like this force field, like the fleur de lis, same sort of thing. And of course the one on human origins, exactly the same thing. Now it's the Orion constellation, the Immaculate Constellation, the belt stars, and you get this hourglass shape. I'm showing both of them in that way. And of course one of the secrets of the soul and the creation, and the silver key, is that of the human bloodline. All humanity. This is not one special bloodline. This is what's being lied to with secret society. Every single human has the star map story connected with them. That's the essence of my work, which I show at thehiddenrecords.com for secrets of the human bloodline, and oneism.org for secrets of the soul. What happened in Rome now needs addressing. The Vatican collected all the ancient records in what became and still is the largest library on the planet. I've crossed out library now because the library is for people. This became a secret archive. The Castel San Angelo Star Fortress, the exit marks, the place on the star map, is where the library is. And it's secret. That is not what St. Peter intended. That's not what the Christ intended. 50 miles of shelves, according to scholars, they say that is hidden in this secret library. All the ancient records of the secrets of human origins and why Vatican City was built to mirror the Immaculate Constellation. Yes, the Vatican City layout is the Immaculate Constellation. So of course they show the keys like Orion in a cross, that's fine. But here's where I think the previous Pope, before he died, was about to go one step further in getting humanity ready for 2027. The historical monarchy forbids knowledge of the essence and of the creation and soul. This is what has been covered up in society. They demonized the cosmic dragon serpent. Now, to explain the adding of the 3 crowns to make the papal hat, it's the 3 kings of Orion that you follow in a row through the bullseye to find the exit marks the spot. And there is the simplicity of the Immaculate Constellation iconology, just like that. And that's what it became. The 3 crowns, the 3 kings, the 3 magi, all in the lost teachings that have been forgotten. But the truth was hidden. That is not the intention of the Christ and St. Peter. Now, we looked at the previous Pope, Pope Francis, and how we have Pope Leo. Instead of going for this version, he has chosen this version. Now, there's a bit of a message here, perhaps him saying, okay, he's adhering to his orders to keep this a secret, and it's like an X, a barricade in this sort of case, or it could even mean the opposite. I could be wrong, that he is going to teach about the Immaculate Constellation, and that is the question that remains unanswered. Now look at this little detail. We saw the same sort of pattern for these keys on the Judas Codex. Go back and have a look at that. Looking now again at the layout of Vatican City, the Pope looks from his view over the obelisk down the causeway to the Castel Sant' Angelo. This is the library right here. Obelisk at this area, obelisk at this area. 7 hills of Rome, and he sees as above, so below. Sacred masculine between those two brightest stars of Orion with Taurus makes a triangle pointing in the direction, and the sacred feminine, the three suns pointing down. Now, I used to be quite passionate about joining the two to show the six-pointed star, but right now what's going on in the world, I'm very disappointed what's happening with that symbology. Of course, the legend of the blade and the chalice, the Holy Grail, there it is right there. You can see how the two became one. There's the sacred male anatomy. Orion's belt shows the ways. Immaculate Conception became Immaculate Constellation. Three suns. And of course it births the one that you celebrate, the bloodline of humanity, all of humanity. That's the big difference here. Looking on Google Earth, 7 hills of Rome, do they map out the Pleiades? Well, isn't it obvious there? There's the obelisk of Popolo, the obelisk of the Pantheon, 5-pointed star, Castel Sant'Angelo, the Vatican City as a key. From above at night, it looks like an illuminated key of St. Peter. This is what St. Peter's golden key or silver key, depending on the lighting, shows the way to his secret. Now we are questioning availability of the library right now. There's the star map. Does Pope Leo know this? Immaculate Constellation showing the way to Castel Sant'Angelo. Right, inside the Vatican, the area of the altar, 8 stars in here. Remember, the Pleiades were 8 stars, as the Mars star map shows. One had a supernova, and there are only 7 left, and that's why you see nebula cloud around the Pleiades. But here, I think, is the secret to the Grail connection, and there is the Immaculate Constellation symbol. Can you see the Grail? This is a crypt where they go down beneath the ground, they go beneath this cosmic womb symbology, and that is Orion's belt symbology. Does it look possible? I think so, because the Pope does something very special now. He becomes Orion man on very special occasions. He puts a carpet over that and personifies Orion on special events. Now think about that. What does it really mean? He's personifying Orion as the Grail, as the bloodline, and his responsibility, in theory, to teach about personifying Orion. He personifies the Immaculate Constellation. There it is beneath him. Just before he became Pope, listen to the Pope Leo's knowledge on hidden records and his dedication, mindset to enlighten humanity with it.
How do we teach people to become critical thinkers? How do we teach people to understand that not everything you hear or everything you read should be taken at face value? And how do we come to give people the formation that they need to read something or to hear something and to be able to discern, if you will, to understand that, that underlying the message that's being communicated is a very different message or a very subtle message that has severe consequences for the future of society, let's say, that can or cannot be understood as a part of a much bigger picture, if you will.
As a witness of the living light that created everything, that's me I'm speaking about, I would now like to call out to Pope Leo, Your Eminence. You just mentioned hidden truths need to be revealed so humanity can understand the essence of God. Pope Francis was about to reveal something crucial, then he died. I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories there. Maybe he had a natural death. That's not for me to argue. But was he stopped is the question. Please can you consider taking on this very same important mission? I'm going to show how close Pope Francis came to telling the world the truth about the 2027 event with the Immaculate Constellation and sacred living light of creation with the appearance of a cosmic dragon. Yes, Pope Leo was going to take this a whole lot further. Now it's time for you to choose between oath or orders. Just like these whistleblowers have made the choice, Pope Leo, Your Eminence, it's time for you to choose between your sworn oath or your orders. Sworn oath on the Bible to tell the truth in the name of God, or orders by the 1% to hide that about God creation. There is a safe way to do it, probably a month before the 2nd of August 2027, at the very latest, if you would come forward with all that information for the world. People will see you as the greatest Pope that has ever lived. Would you please review how I also show the Vatican City is a mirror of the heavens, and all humanity on earth are basically of angelic bloodline that makes all race and tribe equal and sacred? Would you also please speak to your scholars to look into your records of dragons and historical flying hat symbolism? Now here I ask with great urgency, please would you grant my team access to your Vatican archives to find the works that explain these truths that I'm covering in this video. Perhaps having your librarian familiar with these topics to find what bookshelves we need to look at to present these works. Looking at other paintings of esoteric knowledge, this one here is St. Mark's Basilica, Ascension of the Christ in Venice, Italy, the Christ holding his cross. It's sacred. By his right hand, just like in the book of Revelations, he has 7 stars. Here are 7 cherubim, but interestingly, in the position of the Pleiades, little cherubims personifying stars, and then cosmic openings with clouds, and this person pointing down to one. The Pleiades, the shape, the exit marks the spot. And we have 3 tiers representing all 3 portals to 3 suns, and a spiral conduit and an angel. Coincidence? Perhaps not. I'm going back to this one for the Immaculate Conception story. The Christ looking at the womb of his mother Mary, and there's another little cherubim in the back here. Look very closely. I showed in the part 1 that it was probably a grey with his hand mimicking a second angel. Remember, the first angel is here present with bird wings. Here's the other type of angel, the cherubim. And I should actually just take it a bit further. I'm saying it's probably a grey. There are good greys and there are bad greys. These are tied in with histories of the watchers, those that watch over humanity. I'm not going through that. You can see part 1 for the rest of that. Now, Immaculate Conception, okay, basically defines divine origins of the Christ. But if it is the Christ returning, showing it's the stars and our origins from the stars, then it defines something completely different. Take out conception, replace it with constellation. That is the simplicity and the logic and reasoning. Defines the divine origins of the Christ as Orion man, showing the way to his Bethlehem star, which is the sun crown. And it's for all humanity. Okay, so these are very important points to just take into consideration. The book of Revelation involves possibly a time travel if it's the Christ returning. That yes, it will be him returning because he can traverse time and space with the visitor's technology. So it might be Yeshua ben Yosef himself that will be returning. That's a question, but be open to it being just a cosmic messenger. We need to have that logic. And he is upset with humanity. He sides with the 99%. Manipulators are cast into hell. That was the Revelation story. But remember, they give humanity a chance, and we fail. We've got to now show that we are worth saving. Or, in my opinion, grants the 1% amnesty if they use their great wealth to save humanity. That's my mission. That's where I think I can make a difference, if I'm allowed to be visible. And of course, it's this cosmic dragon right here. And how would we be able to measure God's presence as living plasma light? Now, science has actually gone a lot further to prove that plasma can possibly have consciousness. Astronauts have seen little effects like this that seem to be in control of moving where they want to go. They're showing ways to measure it, and scientists have presented papers to prove the possibility that the soul could be part of a plasma type energy, that when it leaves, it returns to a source of this plasma energy of creation. There are the papers. You'll see in the description. I go linking to their papers and their videos. Absolutely amazing, proving the ties of the cosmic dragon as a plasma with the Christ. Other things I found when I was looking for dragons on the floor of the Vatican. Here's another one. This I might try to pronounce it, but there's one of them. Look at this man coming out of a cosmic portal holding a disc and a rod. You see in part 1 the importance of the rod, and he's wearing bull horns. He is a man representing from Taurus, and the dragon's faces look bewildered, a swastika, a target, and a swastika. This is exactly the pattern that I found at Donana, the Atlantis ruins of the circular canals. Seeing rising and setting of Orion, just like that, with a swastika. Coincidence? Perhaps not. This is at the Vatican. Another depiction on this circular mural shows a lady coming out, the Sacred Feminine, perhaps, who knows. But the people are traversing in and out of this cosmic serpent dragon at the Vatican. Other depictions of sad-looking dragons because their secret has been hidden. And of course, Helios being pulled by cosmic serpents, not horses. All these things are at the Vatican. And this particular one with an angry dragon with a monarchy crown above it, showing that is in control over the secrets of the dragon, in my opinion. I have a 1892 Masonic printed original published Bible. In 1892, I think the Freemasons thought there's a good chance that 1900 was the time of the Second Coming. Nothing happened, but they prepared a Bible with the proper Maltese type cross in it, but then there's more of a pattern here that shows the belt, in my opinion, of Orion, the bloodline, these lines representing the sword of Orion. You can press pause and go through in your own time. I covered it in my previous videos. The whole of that cover tells the story of our secret past. And of course, in the 1892 Bible, the last of the Ezekiel story before it became edited is each was a wheel within a wheel that did not turn, both upon their sides. So it's a flying wheel, one spinning inside the other. And of course there were cherubim present as well, little watches that seem to be tied mentally, spiritually, with the movement of these. They moved exactly in time with them. Something very important, beneath the Vatican, in the grottos, Vatican grottos, they have a depiction of the dragons to match the Revelation prophecy and the detail that I have extracted. And the detail is absolutely mind-blowing because I'm showing it here. You can press pause and go through it very slowly because it does take a little bit of time going back and forth. Tree of Life, stars of the Pleiades, 3 suns, one with a crescent. One with a crescent. Wow. There it is, right there. But it's the one that's had its head lost. That's a very important connection here with future prophecy. And we're going to discuss that in this texture, but for now let's just keep it simple. On the other wall in the Grotto of Tombs, the 7 candles explained of the churches. The churches use, just like in Jewish tradition, the menorah, 7 celestial lights being celebrated on the altar. And there's a little bit more being shown here. It's the hand of the messenger showing he is the one that is near the 7 candles. He's teaching about the 7 candles. And what I show, the shape of the land that these candles are placed upon. It's pretty amazing because it seems to be land where these candles are placed upon, okay? It's very coincidentally like the leg of the bull, that those candles match the Pleiades. Coincidence? Probably not. Looking at 7 serpent head deities with the Aztec, which are the later people of the Maya, their timeline, the most recent group of them were the Aztecs, are very barbaric, showing the 7-headed serpent dragon. There's a little bit more detail here. Look very closely. I think it's showing that. A solar trinity. Okay, so Egypt, a deity riding a cosmic boat with the lotus flowers on both bows, showing a cosmic portal, and the Senma tomb with 3 stars. I'm comparing this here to in Australia. There are pictures of the ancestors riding what looks like a lotus ship with cosmic openings, 3 stars rising on the horizon, a star of the gods, and an exoplanet. That's all in the 2-hour documentary. Depictions in India. This one is in Halebidu. You can see there are no handles on the umbrellas, but these swirling cosmic wisps coming off it and look like fingers coming out of it. And why I refer to it as fingers? Because in the baptistry of San Giovanni in Fonte in Naples, we're going to look at that now up close, there's a mural on the ceiling that looks quite amazing. It's been digitally restored. It's what's happening up here. This is the cross of Orion. Follow the cross. The two brightest stars of Orion are in that position. Let's just quickly show you two brightest stars. So this is not the full chi row. This is my cross, the extended cross that I showed you. Pleiades on the one element, and the two on each side of Orion is the other element. Okay. And what we have is the P for the Pleiades at the top of it. And of course something happening up here. So just zoom in a little bit there and you'll see the detail. Okay, first of all, come back and press pause. You can read about the description of the chi row, how it has evolved in history. But closer view, I don't believe that is a human hand or a physical human body hand of creation of the Christ of anybody, but it's not gripping the serpent, it's the filaments as this that comes out of another symbol for the cosmic conduit is the wreath. You see that in churches all around the world, and I've shown it in my 2-hour documentary, and that the UFO literally rides the cosmic serpent, so it's in a way holding on to it, but these are wisps of plasma coming down from it. And if you look closely here, there's a little bit of a reflection of something that's very mysterious. To me it looks like a grey, a cherubim, probably just a coincidence, and that's what I show. That's what I think it's depicting, the UFO. Just like in ancient Chinese depictions, the filament beneath it and more filaments below that connect with the ships that fly in ancient times that were not of this earth. At a time off these, where I found the alien message, is going to be an eclipse off the coast of southern Spain. This is what worries me. That's probably going to be there because, they're watching what I'm doing. They know exactly what's going on, and they want to try and stop it. So think about what they're doing. If the dragon serpent appears, there's a planetary alignment that passes through the sun, the moon, through the earth, and the plasma ribbon can come out through the ocean right at the place where they left the message in southern Spain. This is the living creational force that creates all life, all matter, time and space. Now it presents itself in this form. We'll understand one day, maybe quite soon actually. But would it be wise to shoot that which creates yourselves, life, matter, show disrespect towards it and destroy it, and shoot at it? And this is where the prophecy says one is shot and loses one of its heads, as you saw in the Vatican depiction and in the Sumerian one. That would be unwise. There's also going to be other boats in the area. They're all filming. They're all making copies of this to go on the internet later and to share with humanity. Probably some of them will be running live. My request is, please do not shoot at that which creates all life, that is appearing with these visitors. Show the visitors some respect, because if they want to, they can just destroy us in a blink of an eye. We need to show that we are worthy of saving and show them some respect. So that's my basic story. There's my star maps. This video ends now with just a quick recap on that. Thanks for watching. Please consider joining my movement of flame keepers.
With the earlier Sumerian clay tablets' precise version of the cosmic human origin star map, and how it matched the template at Stonehenge, would come the mindset that had Herschel set out to search the Atlantic Ocean seabed. It would be this clue that would culminate in this documentary's biggest revelation.
As the world was counting down to 2012, I was watching Google Earth, looking for ruins, refreshed my page, and I saw that. I recognized that curvature from somewhere. This could be a computer code. I think it's first contact. The ancients are returning. I've published a book, Herschel's Atlantis, and there's a 2-hour documentary you'll see at the end of the video. These are my 3 books. I'm trying to promote Saving Forests, $19 for all 3, 1 delivery. Please consider becoming a flame keeper in the here and now, or when you are gone, or as an activist. Please press pause and come back to this and you'll see the detail. But as a flame keeper, you become part of the quest to secure the interpretational copyright and visibility of the hidden records. That is the difference.